So your first job was a cleaning
first job
job.
was cleaning. And my first podcast was about my cleaning job. And trust me, Bharat, I don't call this struggle. I don't remember any struggle at all. Was cleaning a pain? Absolutely no. I had my fun. The fellow who used to clean with me, we used to crack jokes, sing songs. See, Lollipop is a candy, not just a candy, it's an experience. So every time you eat a lollipop, it leaves a mark on your tongue. And unlike the other candies, right, it has a shape to it. It has flavors to it. And unwrapping is so beautiful, and it's an experience. So this is the story that we cooked up. But the real story is my son named it Lollipop. For Microsoft, they didn't even realize the damage they were doing. And if I was at the leadership position of Microsoft, I would definitely ask that agency that where are you getting these people from? And are you doing a damage to them? If yes, I would say stop it. So here is a tip for every service entrepreneurs. You need a mentor like him. Find a mentor. And these mentors are not waiting for you. You have to go knock their door. You have to do your drama to get their attention. And you have to make sure that they show interest in your stuff. Keep them excited. But you know for the fact one day she's going to get married and leave. So Lollipop is everything, and it was in my blood. I can't tell what Lollipop is for me. It's a beautiful story. That day was very emotional. I cried and I couldn't control my tears. That is not there in the video.
Hi, I am Bharat Jatangi, co-founder of Pacewisdom. Welcome to an episode by Pacewisdom, the podcast that brings you inspiring stories and insights from successful entrepreneurs and unsung heroes. We just wrapped an incredible episode with my friend Anil Reddy, an artist and entrepreneur whose journey will inspire you from cleaning jobs to fund an art school in Bengaluru to co-founding Lollipop Design Studio in a garage. Anil built a global brand that worked with Paytm, Vodafone and MS Dhoni's Run Adam. Why listen? This episode dives into his raw struggles, bold AI predictions, and game-changing advice for designers and IT firms like Pacewisdom to thrive in 2025's tech wave packed with heart, hustle, and wisdom. This is a must-watch. Tune in now. Anil, welcome to an episode. I'm so excited. I know you as a friend. It's been quite long. Your journey has been mesmerizing. I'm one of those who have been admiring the journey. I'm all eager to start. Welcome to an episode.
Thank you, Bharat. This is super exciting. And the first thing is coming to this part of the world, what I call this as my birthplace. The Malleshwaram, Srirampuram and Rajaji Nagar.
Okay.
You just invite me, I'll come 1 hour earlier. And that's what happened
I see
today.
that.
8 o'clock we were supposed to start and 7:30 I was here.
Yeah.
Any other, if this episode was, or if this podcast was in Whitefield, I would come 30 minutes late.
You resonate me, Anil.
Yeah. And also, I hope I stay awake. Thanks for all the wonderful breakfast that you fed me. And now you're asking me to narrate a story now.
I mean, I'm sure we will have a great journey ahead in this podcast. Okay. Your journey began with, doing all small things, small jobs, trying to pay your college fees. And it's a testament to your grit. So how are these early struggle in India? How did make a character like Anil Reddy? Okay, and you would have gone through different phases of life to come there. You had to pay your college fees, okay, and you had to take up responsibilities of many things. I'm sure that has a good impact on you. I just want to start all the way from there because I know many people would have spoken about your brilliant days, glitz and glamour days, colorful days, but I think many doesn't know that what made Anil Reddy come there. So I just want to start emphasizing from there.
So the story goes almost, I'm 45 years now. I have to rewind it almost 35 years back when I chose to become an artist. Back then, there was absolutely no career for artist. I had no idea what will I become after learning art. And my mom had a big dream of me becoming an engineer. My dad was working at National Aerospace Limited, and I lost him when I was 4 years old. And from there onwards, I had to figure my way out. And trust me, when I joined the art college, right, my seniors were painting on the streets, and they were earning what 50-60 rupees a day, and I knew that's where I was going to end up.
Which college was this?
Kent School of Art.
Oh, Kent School of Art. Oh,
My first 2 years was at Kent School of Art.
Kent School of Art.
And
Okay.
all the credits, if I have to give to whoever I've become today, I'll give it to Kent School of Art.
Oh,
So
that's a
it
great
got
gratitude.
my base strong, and there I focused more on art and all form of arts, from sculpting, printmaking to life study, sketching, and all this stuff. And there was no career for artists in Bangalore, and I still continue.
Which year was this, Anil, if I have to ask you?
I joined in 1995.
The Kent School of
Kent
Art.
School of Art, 95, 96.
It was just started then, or it was where?
Kent School was a pretty old school.
Okay.
And it was started by Harpat Master.
Okay.
And one of the best artists that Karnataka has ever seen.
Brilliant.
And I was trained under him.
Nice.
And he's no more. And the 2 years was fantastic. And the entire Kent School is just like a school.
Okay.
It's behind a horse stable in Sheshadripuram. No one will even come to know there's a college or a school behind there's a horse stable.
Even today it is still there.
It is still the same.
Okay.
And that's what keeps me rooted and very grounded. And people are very simple people who can't afford big colleges. The fees was 1,200 rupees, yearly fees. And I had to go earn that 1,200 rupees. So I ended up taking up a cleaning job. Actually, I went asking for an illustrator job in that company. It's a Tamil newspaper called Dinatanthi.
Dinatanthi, yes.
So they had an office in Queens Road.
Okay.
And when they had announced, Dinatanthi had announced for an illustrator job in Kannada Prabha. Tamil newspaper had announced in Kannada Prabha. So I took that cutout and I went there hoping that I'll get a job as an illustrator.
Okay.
So they had different print mediums and they were looking for caricature artists. So they were a long queue. People
For the job?
For that one job.
Wow. Okay.
And very long queue.
This was 96, 97?
96, 95.
95, okay.
Yeah, when I joined college.
College, okay.
So when I was in school, I used to sketch, attend a lot of drawing competitions, and I won a lot of awards.
So art was a natural
thing
for you.
Yeah, it was a natural thing. And I always thought, see, when you're in a small frog in the well, right, you feel that you are the best. So when I was in school sketching, I thought I was the best. When I went to college, I saw similar artists like me from all over Karnataka, right? I just felt like I don't know nothing. And then when I went, I thought even this job will be easier for me to get. When I went there, I saw a long line of artists from all over Karnataka just for one job. Then I knew that I won't get. I was the youngest kid standing in the queue. And the watchman over there said, look, I doubt if you're going to get it. My son is also studying, but there is a cleaning job here. Would you like to take that up? Even my son will join. Both together do it. You'll get some money.
So your first job was a cleaning
first job was cleaning. And my first podcast was about my cleaning job. That went viral. So that's where my journey started. And I used to get a very small amount, which was enough for me to pay my fees at Kent School of Art. And it started from there. And trust me, Bharat, I don't call this struggle. I don't remember any struggle at all. Was cleaning a pain? Absolutely no. I had my fun. The fellow who used to clean with me, we used to crack jokes, sing songs. On the Jeb Tumba peppermint account, I used to eat and clean. I never felt like it was a struggle like as you see in movies, right? There's nothing like that. I had good fun cleaning. I used to clean like an artist. Make sure every dirt is removed.
Soul satisfaction. Okay. That's so brilliant. And how did that fuel your passion? Like, you told me that, it was not a struggle, you enjoyed it. So I think you started learning the enjoyment all the way in whatever you try to do with that. That's what you're trying to tell me. That's so brilliant. Then what is the story with New Zealand? How did you end up getting into New Zealand? Or what is the journey after Kent School of Art?
So after Kent School, after 2 years at Kent School, right, I got a seat in Chitrakala Parishad, one of the top colleges in Karnataka when it comes to fine art, visual communication.
Around 98, I guess.
Around 98. And it was one of the best colleges in line with NID, Shrishti and all that. Back then, I don't know if Shrishti was there, but I somehow got a seat over there. And from fine art, I got into visual communication. And I did my 3 years there. Then again, I felt like even for visual communication, no careers. The entire Bangalore had only 2 agencies, Trikai Grey and Mabozil. And these are the 2 advertising agencies.
No Ogilvy Mather, nothing of that.
I think it was there, but I didn't know much about it. Okay. And it was like top thing, and you have to be super good at to get secure a job there. For our level, this was it. Or go to print press. Some printing press and do a hand design and give it to the
So you knew that is going to be your career?
I actually didn't really think too much about career, because every time I thought about career, all my seniors come in my mind because they were all jobless and they were typical artists like you see in the movies, right? Long beard, weird looking people with a jubba and with a thing.
Why, that's a question I have. Why do artists have that fascination, like a different dress up? Is it because they start doing something runs in their brain to start wearing that, or it's like natural thing for them? I want to hear to that question as well.
Yeah, actually here is my explanation for that. So art colleges are such that you go deep into it. Like for example, if you have to sketch a human, right, you're so involved in it. And my college, we used to shift our positions. So if they put a live model in the center, right, we used to sit on the desk and shift positions so that we can capture that anatomy from different angles. Now imagine doing that every day. You're so involved in it, you don't look at your hair, your beard, your dressing, and you lose interest in everything, but all your attention goes on that.
Because of that.
Now imagine doing the 365 days a year. So you don't have interest in food, you don't have interest in clothing, and suddenly one day you look at mirror and see there's a long beard. That's how artists end up. And eventually it became a fashion. They're like, wow, this looks so cool. And that's my explanation. But I think artists look way cooler than.
So that made you not think about your career.
Yeah, sometimes the daily task was more challenging than thinking about what's tomorrow for me. Sometimes when I think about it, I used to panic, and it's too disturbing, because at least now there's plenty jobs, plenty career options. If your design doesn't work, you can go into something, filmmaking. There's so many jobs, and the world of opportunities are there now. And back then, it's purely through word of mouth. Somebody would come and tell in the college canteen that there's a job opportunity there, and the entire few hundred designers used to run there. And studying at Chitrakala Parishad, this was the only option. Go as a graphic designer. And my advantage was my art and design. My disadvantage was my communication. So I didn't know to speak English, not in a single word. I avoided all the English-speaking friends. And pakka Kannada local guy. And as soon as I entered the college, the first thing I was noticing was who are all Kannada speaking people here.
And go talk to them.
Yeah, go talk to them and stick with them until 5 years. All the English speaking people, avoid them, run away from them. And after college, I realized that this is not going to help me. How am I going to build a career speaking one language? And that's when English really helped. And in this podcast, I would like to convey that message very, very clearly, that today you're blessed with learning languages. So years back, people used to come and tell me that I come from a small village, thus my communication is very weak. I used to listen to it, but today I don't have any sympathy for that. Language can be learned anywhere. So people who want to get into the creative world, the communication, the language is very, very important. And that kind of changed my life.
So this is an interesting question. So you say somebody like an artist should also have good communication skills.
Yep. Artist, the traditional art, not necessary, I believe. But when you're getting into design, design is not about what you want to express.
Okay,
design is about
digital art, probably something like UI, UX or... Okay.
Design was all about the business. Design was all about the psychology, strategy, technology, and art. So in this, you should know how to communicate your ideas. Design is all about an idea. The dictionary meaning of design is a plan. So if you don't know how to communicate it well, then you'll fail in design. So my first lesson was go learn English, because that's the very common language. That's the only language that you could sell your ideas. So after college, I learned English, and then opportunities opened up. I went to Saudi before going to New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
I worked in
was
Saudi
that also for work or?
Yeah, for work, purely for work. I got a job there, and some sheikh told me.
So right after Chitrakala Parishad, you ended up in Saudi.
Yeah, right after Chitrakala Parishad, I actually was trying too many things. I didn't know what I want to do with my career. I tried in movies.
Oh.
I wanted to work.
What did you try in movies? That's a story that many doesn't know.
I wanted to work as a background artist.
Okay, in the art direction?
Art direction.
Okay.
And I was super fascinated about it, because in Bangalore I did a lot of freelance work. And I used to decorate hotels and events. A lot of event organizers here used to call me to do stage setup and all this stuff. I loved it. I made really decent amount of money doing that. And I thought I'll build my career in art direction, movie art direction. Worked in Tamil Nadu for a couple of months, and some of my work is still there on YouTube.
Wow.
It's a movie called Sangamam. And there's a song sequence, the entire set, I only designed it.
Brilliant.
Then I thought, that's it, this is my thing, and this is where I'm going to build my career. But that didn't work out for me. Then came back in final year, one of my friends introduced me to the computers. Until then, I used to bitch about computers. I was like, how today people are scared of AI, right? Back then, just multiply into 10. That's how I feared that's the kind of fear I had for computers. I thought computers was going to come and kill all the artists. But learned computers, and the story changed. And I got an opportunity in Saudi. I went and worked there for 2 years purely for money. At home, we had no TV, no chair to sit. It's kind of a very tiny house. My mom was the only person working. That salary was not enough. And there's a lot of things. So Saudi, the sheikh told, I'll give you 40,000 rupees. I'm like,
Indian rupees.
Indian rupees. I used to get 1,700 rupees as salary. Where is 1,700? Where is 40,000? So I went, worked, saved some money, and went to New Zealand for studies.
Okay, so New Zealand you ended up for higher studies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant.
So Saudi happened, and then saved up money in Saudi. And what I realized is design was not all about aesthetics. It's more than just the pretty looking things that we see. So that got me to explore and study further, and that's when I ended up in New Zealand.
So that's so brilliant. So then the New Zealand journey started. You didn't work in New Zealand, you only studied in New Zealand, or you also
I studied for a year, and I worked for 9 years in New Zealand.
9 years in New Zealand. Brilliant. Okay. So, like, you started Lollipop from a garage, if I'm not wrong. It's like a garage what you started initially.
I think that's the term they've given it. Actually, it was my apartment, my bedroom. And after that, my first office was a garage.
At a garage, okay.
It was not garage. It was like a parking space. And that lady was very kind enough. And she said, I will leave my car outside and put a table for you here.
In New Zealand?
In Kormangala.
In Kormangala, okay, sure. And initially it was called Pixie Tree, if I'm not wrong.
Pixie Tree, yeah.
Pixie Tree is what it was called. And it grew into a globally recognized studio, right? So, what are the key strategies you use to build a design firm and attract clients like Paytm and Cricket.com? So, what made people to look into Lollipop, and what was your thought process strategies? What did you do? Or was it like, you just went by the flow? What was the story all about then?
Honestly, if I have to tell what worked for us, I can't pinpoint and say what really worked for us. There is so many factors. I think what we did with Lollipop was, instead of building a company, we built a brand. And people fell in love with the name, and people fell in love with everything we were doing inside. And the entire industry was curious to know what is Lollipop and what are these guys up to. And if I start Lollipop now, I don't think so I would be very successful or as successful as what it is today, because it's a crowded market now. Back then, when we spoke about user experience, design thinking, user interface, research, right, it was like an alien topic. all the startups were very curious and they wanted to know what are you talking about and what is this and how can this impact my business. So they gave me the time, they gave me the space to come and speak about design. And today design is not an alien word, everybody knows, and the entire industry knows what design is. So I think that worked. The time worked for us. And the second thing was we worked every single day to build a brand. And I love building brands because brand is a story. And I love telling stories to people. And I love taking stage and telling what Lollipop is. In fact, I was called the Lollipop guy. And the industry didn't know my name was Anil Reddy. During Lollipop time, I was at the airport and this guy comes running to me and said, "Are you the Lollipop guy?" I said, "Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm the Lollipop guy. I'm Anil Reddy. I'm the founder of Lollipop." Yeah. So the brand went to that extent where people recognize me as a Lollipop guy. I liked it, but they still continue calling me Lollipop guy. What worked for us was building the story and building the brand. And everything that we tried, right, it was pretty new. We introduced Designathon. No one ever in India knew about what Designathon was. The service company in the IT space used to do hackathon. We took that and we altered it for the design industry. And we did a lot of design events, design get-togethers, design gatherings. And we never ever targeted at a potential customer. That's the secret of Lollipop. At Lollipop, every marketing message was not targeting at a potential customer. It was targeting at designers.
So you were like concentrating on your passion, the work, the output that spoke and that emerged into a brand is what you're trying to tell.
Yes, absolutely.
And one fundamental question: what made you keep the name Lollipop?
This is like a question I get asked at least 100 times a year.
Yeah,
so actually, see, Lollipop is a candy, not just a candy, it's an experience. So every time you eat a lollipop, it leaves a mark on your tongue. And unlike the other candies, right, it has a shape to it. It has flavors to it. And unwrapping is so beautiful and it's an experience. So this is the story that we cooked up. But the real story is my son named it Lollipop. He went to a day school called Lollipop.
Okay.
And I was thinking what to name my company, and he just randomly walked into my room and he said Top Top. He used to call it Top Top. Then I said, "This is a cool name, we should call it Top Top." And then Top Top doesn't sound good, and I didn't want to risk calling my company Top Top. I called it Lollipop.
Lollipop's collaboration with Terralogic and projects like Runadam, which earned a significant milestones and a note from MS Dhoni. Okay, so can you share a behind-the-scenes story of pivotal moment which helped Lollipop to a global design map? You had a footprint on the global arena, the Lollipop Design Studio. How was that?
So this MS Dhoni story, very random. And one of my good friends, his name is Eraga, and he's a big dreamer and an achiever. And he had this idea of bringing the entire sports industry in India together in one place to enable and empower students who want to build career in sports. Fantastic idea. So this is how he narrated, and when he narrates with passion. I just felt like, what am I doing in design? I should have been in sports. Then after that, he said, "I want to build this platform. Will Lollipop be a part of it?" I said, "Yes, absolutely." And then it was a project for us, but I was personally involved in it. So I designed the logo personally, and then one day he calls up and he says, "You know what? I have a big surprise for you." And then he comes to Bangalore and he says, "Guess who's on board?" And I thought maybe some sports guy in Tamil Nadu, someone. And then he said, "No, Mahi Bhai." I'm wondering who is Mahi Bhai. He calls him Mahi Bhai, and then he said, "MS Dhoni is on board." I'm like, "Dude, what are you saying?" "Yeah, he is on board, and we're going tomorrow to meet him, and you're coming with me." I was like, "What is this?" "Okay, let's go." So we went to Mumbai, we met Dhoni, and we narrated the entire story, and I was a part of the entire creative thing, and we shot a video. I had some experience shooting videos and stuff. So we set up a background in Mumbai. All my experiences came handy, and we built a setup which looked like a gym, and we made Dhoni act.
Oh,
and
Dhoni
do
act. Okay. Yeah.
push-ups and all this stuff. And we put a camera down, and I made him do push-ups.
Okay.
I said, I need some push-ups, and as you come up, you face the camera, and as you go down, you're out of the camera. So that was the shot. So the thing is, I wanted him to sweat after 10, 15, right?
Okay.
I wanted him to sweat. He's so fit. He was like 20, 25, 30, 35. Absolute no sweat. So we had to bring the spray gun and spray it on his face. And I'm like, he said, I can go until the evening. And those are all nice, fun moments with him. But that's how Run Adam happened. And the global thing was purely, I had not dreamt or no idea of opening multi-branches. The first branch that we opened after Bangalore was Delhi, and we failed. And I went to Delhi with big dreams. Just because one of our senior designer wanted to move to Delhi, and she said it's a great opportunity. I think we should open Lollipop in Delhi. I had no idea, no plan. I was like, okay, let's open in Delhi. We went, found a space over there, and we put a Lollipop board, and Lollipop started. And no thought, nothing. What are we going to do in Delhi? And within 2 months, we shut it down.
Okay, you closed in 2 months.
We closed Delhi. Because I used to travel to Delhi often, and as soon as I land in airport, I used to fall sick. Extreme weather. They have something called smog in Delhi. It's a fog and smoke together, and I was so allergic to it. And every time I land, and I used to fall sick. And then it came a point where I used to send my senior folks from Bangalore, even they used to fall sick. And they're like, dude, every time I said, is anyone interested to go to Delhi? Nobody raised hands. Bangalore is a paradise. Why will Bangaloreans go to Delhi, right? And the best part was all the designers who joined in Delhi, they were waiting for that opportunity when Anil will shut this down and take us to Bangalore.
Okay.
And I think the prayers were heard. And I said, I can't come to Delhi often, and I don't think so I can manage Delhi.
Yeah.
And we'll wind up.
So that makes
everybody happily came to Bangalore. Then it took us 6 months to plan another center. Then Mumbai happened.
Okay, so after Delhi was Mumbai. So now currently where are you? Where all are you spread?
We are in 8 locations, 4 in India, Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Vietnam, Dubai, Dallas, and San Jose.
Dallas, San Jose, Vietnam, Dubai. So why Vietnam?
Vietnam, I went there for a holiday, and my parent company already had a setup over there. And then I met a couple of designers over there, and amazing people, super talented, very similar to the Indian way of working. Communication was a challenge, but I thought we can figure that out. But super talented people, and plus the location is amazing. I don't know why people go to Thailand, Phuket and all that. Vietnam is a hidden gem.
Yep,
and the cost to travel to Vietnam is just another 5,000 or 6,000 more than traveling to Goa.
Goa, absolutely.
And I thought, why should I go to Goa when I can spend another 5,000-6,000 and go to Vietnam?
How is the talent in Vietnam?
Brilliant.
So
yeah, talent in Vietnam is good. They are Pakka 9 to 5 people, but that 9 to 5, that 8 hours, they give their best. They're very productive 8 hours.
Your studio emphasis on research-led design approach. How did this help you differentiate Lollipop in a competitive market? Because, in the market, it is all about, hey, you know what, you give me work, I design it, and I tell a story about the design, what I have come through, and sell the thing. That's a normal phenomenon, what we see in the market. But what lessons like IT firms like Pacewisdom, like us, can also learn from these?
So there are 2 things to it. What you see is, whatever you see here about Lollipop, everything sounds fantastic, but there is a lot of fun factors inside. Research, right? What happened? For me, I look at design from a different angle. Okay, one as an artist, another one as a strategist, and sometimes as a technologist. And this time, I wanted to look at design from a science point of view. So I was like, can we bring medical students to help us decode human behavior? I don't know why I got that in my mind. And I was thinking about it, I was discussing with my team, and I was like, how about getting neuroscience students? And imagine a simple design studio is thinking science now. So I went to IIT, and I met this lady and I said, would you like to come and experiment in design? She's like, no, I'm a neuroscience student. What will I do in design? I said, just come, we'll figure out. Because I want to understand why do humans behave in certain manner. I want to capture that and then show it to my clients. We were showing it to Myntra, Swiggy and all that pattern, the behavioral patterns and all that. Then she said, okay, I'll come. Then she came. Now, how will I sell that as a concept, right? How will I go tell my customers that, hey, we will do research? For customers, research is a market research. Now, this time I'm trying to sell design related research. And they were not ready to pay for it. They said, you do whatever you want, but don't charge us for that. Give this as a free service. Now I've got people from neuroscience. How am I going to pay salary to them? So what we did, we got our first project in the farming space. We lied to them saying that we'll do research. We are one of the top research company.
I want to come to that later part because it's more interesting part. Yeah.
So sales is all about bit of extra spice that you add.
Yeah.
And we said, no, we do research, we do all this stuff. And we somehow convinced and we got them to engage us for a design research project. And they gave us 3 months paid thing. And that's when we started building the team along with the neuroscience people. We tagged along some psychologists and all that. And that's when the research happened. The outcome was fantastic. And that changed Lollipop for us. So with any service company, right, even for you, some things work. Okay, when it works, that's when you need to experiment. When it works, if you believe this is what this company is all about, then you will see things going down. Because in a service company, if some things work, it won't work forever.
It's a temporary period.
It's a very temporary period, or 1 or 2 clients loving what you do, that's it. If you want to see a world of opportunity, every 3 months you need to put it on the board. What is the new thing that I'm bringing inside my company? It's not a new service that you add. Like, see, at Lollipop, apart from design, we did nothing. People asked us, can you do social media? We said no. They asked us, will you do development? I said no. At least front-end development, we used to help few clients, but we never promoted that as a service. At least logo design and branding, even that I initially said I won't do that. But later we introduced all that because some of the startups desperately needed some good looking branding and logo and stuff. But initial days I was very adamant, this is what I'll do, this should be the best. But later when we started growing, that entire thought process changed. But I didn't introduce things that were trending in the market. I got things that people didn't talk about. So like for example, the science side of the design, and we introduced build fast, launch fast, and that became a super hit in the startup. And we said design thinking is a long process, but build fast, launch fast is what every startup needs. So these kind of things, right, when you build your team, your core team, right, they should come and tell you every week what are the new things that we can introduce, and you have to pick those things and try. And our website, if you look at it, we have few thousand pages inside. And I doubt even if Infosys or Wipro have so many pages inside. And out of few thousand, only 100 pages work. But we experimented with so many pages. We have a landing page for every industry. And within that, we had other insights. We created case studies. We created white papers. So these are all experiments. And everything got us leads. And you know how many leads we get per month? We get about 120 leads without even paying a penny. And that's how our website works. Our website...
Even today.
Our sales team, right? They just keep getting the leads every day from all over the world.
That's so brilliant.
And that's how we built it. And we built this with this attitude of everybody has to come up with new ideas. That new ideas turned into a content, and the content turned into marketing, and marketing got us the leads inside. We spoke about telecom. How can a design company speak about telecom? We have a landing page specifically for telecom. Today, go and type UI UX for in the telecom space, we come up. And then we got Vodafone as a project. And we designed the entire Vodafone. When Vodafone merged with Idea, that it became VI. The entire VI we designed from start till end. All the digital touch points we designed. And we took that as a case study and we put it inside. Now we get leads from other telecom industries across the globe.
Services company, normally when you start, I mean, the fueling for a services company is the early clients. When you have a good clientele in the start, you start seeing some revenue. In the window of that revenue, you will have to go fetch more clients. Normally, that's a services nomenclature. And then you start adding more clients, and sales become an intrinsic cycle. The two eyes of a services company, I believe, according to me, is one is sales, one is service, the quality at which what you deliver. So for you, initially, like wise you told you get 120 leads, but that is like over a period of time when you got into that phase. But earlier to that phase, was it like, how did you manage? It's like it just happened, or the word of mouth spread, or what was the story?
So the first year when I tried to do sales, I thought sales is all about being on ground, knocking doors, but I failed. And I realized that I suck at sales and I should not be doing this. And I was damaging the brand by doing door-to-door sales, calling up people, and every time they hear the name Lollipop, they used to get sick of it. Sorry, it was Pixitry. Every time they hear Pixitry, they used to get so sick of it. Then I said, this is not how you sell a service. And then I renamed it to Lollipop. And then instead of selling the service, I started talking about the impact of design. So here are some of the fun moments. The first, I wanted to go and speak on the stage so that I can tell the world that I represented design and I spoke. And so when we named it Lollipop, I got an opportunity to speak at, I think, Silicon Valley or something like that. Silicon India.
Okay.
Silicon India invited me to speak about design. So when I spoke about design, there were only 4 people sitting there. I asked my team to take a photo and make it look like the big overwhelming crowd. So took that content, went on internet, and I said overwhelming response, great crowd. 4 people came. Those people came only because there was free food. And imagine 2011 speaking about design. Nobody was interested. So we took all the small things, started building a story. Then people were like, okay, next event I want to go. I don't want to miss out on this. And the next event when I spoke, 4 became 10. 10 became 20. And those people started going and talking about, there's a company called Lollipop. They do design. And then it's not web design, but there's something else they do. That word of mouth spread. And they started getting the leads. And those photographs really helped on social media, especially on LinkedIn and Facebook. We started telling stories. And we told stories about unboxing an iMac. For us, back then, you unbox an iMac, we used to get 200 likes. Okay. Today, Mac or Apple or iPhone is not a big story. Everybody has one. Back then, I bought it and we took a video, we unboxed it, we pulled that 24-inch screen, we put it on the table. And some of them said, can I come and see your computer? They used to send a message saying that, okay, you're welcome. So all the small things, right? I told that story every day on internet. That really helped, and it reached to people where they were looking for a services like ours, and then started getting the leads.
So that's how your early story started.
It's fun. All is fun. There was no strategy. There's no way sitting and planning that we should do this to get leads. So every day we put some story out.
What was the association with Dr. Devi Shetty? How did that happen, and how and when it started? How did he got to know about Lollipop? What is the story behind it?
Oh, we should do a podcast about it separately.
Okay.
So I call him my mentor, my God. Whatever I am and everything that I have achieved with Lollipop, credits goes to him. So 2007, I saw a video. I was working in New Zealand and I saw a video about this person called Dr. Devi Shetty making healthcare affordable. I loved that concept. For me, anything mass, I love it. And one of my colleague, the local New Zealander, you're saying, dude, this is amazing. And imagine operating at this cost. And then I kind of manifested. I want to meet Dr. Devi Shetty once in my life. I want to shake hands with him, say hello to him. And that's it. Then I forgot. Then after that, I used to remember, see his photographs when Google picked up, when Google Images were introduced. Then I used to search, and when YouTube was introduced, there are a few videos, interviews about him. I think nature just heard it and nature was so kind that it created an opportunity to work with him. And my first studio, which is Garage, it is 2 streets away from his house.
In Koramangala, Bangalore.
Yeah, in Koramangala, Bangalore. So that my first project I designed for his son in the surgeon log entry app. I designed and built it, and which became very big. And then Dr. Devi Shetty saw that, and he told his son that I want to meet this person. And I went and met him. I was like out of words, full silence for a few minutes. Then he was asking me questions. I was like, what do I answer? I was waiting to see you. And after that, he said, I want to design a project with you. I said, yes, come on, let's do it. Started working, and he started advising me about it. We were a team of 10 people. And then I asked him, sir, we are having a first year anniversary. Will you come? Will you come and congratulate us and give a speech? He said, yeah, I'll come. Then he came and he saw 10 people. He said, 10 is a small number. You should become 100. I said, design studio and 100, it's impossible. He said, no, you'll become, don't worry. I'll connect you to the right people and all that. Some of the big opportunities that we got at Lollipop, Dr. Devi Shetty introduced.
Brilliant.
So here is a tip for every service entrepreneurs. You need a mentor like him. Find a mentor. And these mentors are not waiting for you. You have to go and knock their door. You have to do your drama to get their attention. And you have to make sure that they show interest in your stuff. Keep them excited. And it will change your life. If you think you can drive this alone, it's impossible. You need some really good mentors. Write down who's that person that you really admire. It could be anyone. It could be as big as a superstar also. They will help you. That few words from them is enough for you.
I think this is a very, very, very interesting advice for services organizations and a very brilliant suggestion.
Yeah, you need good mentors, advisors.
I'm sure those will actually take to next heights.
Just write it down, and like how I manifested, do that, do your magic.
And the nature will answer you.
And nature will answer. But you need to make sure that you build enough for them to come and fall in love with what you have built. Not just tell a story on a PPT presentation.
Absolutely. Make your hands dirty, be there, show that, make it happen, then it will happen.
Yeah, because all these mentors are sick of PPT presentations.
Correct.
And everything on presentation, they won't believe you. You have to show them what you have built. And you have to keep showing that, you know what, last month I spoke to you about this and here is it. They love to see that progress, and they will show more and more interest, and then they will connect you to the world. Who are mentors? Mentors are industry experienced people. People who have achieved something big. Something that we look up to them and we want to become like them. And they have that secret in them. And all you want is get closer to them and get them to tell that secret so that you can try that out.
That's so well bought in statement. It's an eye-opener to many of them. I think this is one secret recipe and a mantra that you have revealed it today. Thank you for that. Now, moving on, with 2025, UI UX is much different when you compare to that of when you started UI UX. And I think many did not know what is UI UX when you started. I think that was a revolution that which happened, and you were part of that to create that impact of UI UX globally. Now it's an AI-driven approach. Back in 2025, AI is on the cards when you're taking this discussion, and there are 3D elements, voice interfaces gaining tractions, and how Lollipop as a studio is adapting to this and going ahead with this kind of changes which is happening globally, and what role does human designers have to comply with this when compared to that of the AI-driven approaches?
We knew this was coming, and as a design studio, I exited Lollipop last December.
I want to come to that. Yes.
So Lollipop will always be ahead of the game, and that's in the DNA of Lollipop and every designer working at Lollipop. So whatever, sometimes we'll be the first one to talk and notify the industry about what's coming next. and internally we are very well prepared. So the base of Lollipop is the art, the design, and the solution. So for Lollipop, design is a beautiful solution. The beautification and solving the problem, both. So today, AI, people say it's taken over. It is not. And trust me, I recently met someone, and the person clearly mentioned that I don't want AI generated images, AI generated illustrations. I want handmade with the stamp of that artist. I want to tell that story in my presentation that I got this artist to illustrate for my product. So I was like, how come? And I was like, he said, no, that's how I want it. And that's the story my investors love and my customers will love to see. Because the industry is flooded with AI generated artwork. And that AI generated artwork started looking like stock images now. Now imagine few years back when stock images were introduced, we all jumped in joy.
Yeah, because you didn't need a camera guy to
Yeah,
shoot.
you didn't need a photographer to come shoot, and you shoot 50 photo, you pick 10 photo, clean up 3 photos. There's a long process, and suddenly there's a world of photographs. You just put the keyword and you'll find all photographs.
Correct. You can
And
just
all
buy
your-
whatever you want.
Buy whatever you want. And we all used and abused it. We abused it to an extent where people stopped trusting stock photos websites. Like for example, there was a time when all the IT service company had a contact us page with 2 people shaking hands.
That's this was a standard norm.
Standard, and nobody trusted them.
Correct.
And it came to a point that people used to ignore those things, and these companies took a hit. And then came back the real photographers who captured the culture and created corporate videos and all that fun elements that happens inside a company. Now people trust companies. So we are going to go through the same thing with AI. All will use it, will abuse it, and it will come reach a point there where everybody, even a newborn kid, will say this is AI generated thing. And it will become so common in everybody's website or in product. Even content will become, people will just read the first line and say this is AI generated content. Because the tone of AI is such that human has a different style of writing. And I think over a period of time we'll get sick of it, and actually Google has already started taking an action of AI generated content. They're firing all those websites which used AI to write articles. So we are one of them. Not Lollipop, Happy Pet. Happy Pet took a hit. I'll tell that story later.
Yes.
So now we don't use AI to generate art. We don't use AI to generate photographs and all that. We try and avoid it until unless we don't have time. So AI is convenience and speed. That's it.
So do you, I mean, as of today, I agree with you. Do you also see that in the future, this will be the trend? It's a prediction. Both of us don't know the future, but we are just casting our opinion. But this is what I'm trying to ask you.
See, I predicted AI. I also predicted the handmade stuff and the fine art stuff will have its own value. And all those people learning, studying real art, right? Stick to it. Don't get carried away with AI. Don't get disturbed with it. You will have a fantastic career. Actually, I'm building a house. All the handmade stuff is so expensive. All the factory made furnitures are so cheap. The handmade, even to get something carved is so expensive.
Yeah, that is because of the quality, precision.
Yeah, because those people
human
know,
touch.
Yeah, those people know that I'm in demand, and not many people are learning the skill now. I'm the only one left. There's a small village called Tamampatti near Salem, and that's the only. It's a small lane, and hardly 4 or 5 shops. Only those guys do wooden hand carving sculptures. So amazing, and I doubt even machine can do that. And they are in demand, and I've been asking them, can you sculpt this? And they're like, I'll do it next month, after 3 months, after 4 months.
Apps like Farmrise for farmers, which you have architected, worked upon, which has been one of your pet works. In emerging economies, how can Indian design studios leverage trends like these on design and sustainability to create a global impact, particularly if I have to ask you, and also see that, how do you actually serve these underserved communities?
I think this was one of the most challenging project for us because I closed this project in the US. Now imagine sitting in one of the fanciest place in the world in an AC room talking about what do farmers need in India. So I came back to India. Then I asked myself, do I know anything about farming? The answer is no. Does any of my colleague know anything about farming? Everybody said nothing. And I was checking if my father is a farmer, no. If my grandfather is a farmer, no. So basically, we know nothing about farming, and we were designing something for the farmers. I took this as a challenge, and our team traveled across India, interviewed close to 140 farmers from north, east, west, south. And then the most challenging part, right? Until then, Lollipop designed for fintech, fashion, Myntra, Swiggy, Paytm, very fancy brands, and the end customers are all almost tech savvy people. Now suddenly we're designing for someone who doesn't even have a smartphone. Then where do we start from? The best thing is go meet them first. And I made sure that our team, when they met, they spent a day with them and sometimes go and sleep in their house. For us, when we came back, right, some of the insights were so emotional. Our researchers were crying. They were like, this project is going to hit us very hard. And when the outcome of this has to be impact, not just a number of downloads, not just a business celebrating that we achieved our goals. It has to be an impact. And we literally had tears. We never had such kind of an emotion for any other project. With farmers, because one of the farmers that we interviewed, he had a pesticide in his house, and he was from Uttar Karnataka, and he said, look, I just sprayed this pesticides, and next week is when I'm going to get my crops, because somebody scared me that there's worms that's going to come and eat your crops, and I'm going to harvest next week. In case if the worms eat, in case if the crops die, I'll consume this pesticide.
Shit. That was a very, very harsh.
Yeah, because his life is dependent on that
Correct.
harvest.
We all keep reading about farmers. We all keeping.
And he told me how many people have done that in and around. He told me the number of farmers that died doing that, and they drink that, they hang or they kill themselves.
Very sad. Yes.
And we came back to the studio. There's a pin drop silence traveling from there to back to the studio. While going, we were all singing songs, playing Antakshari and all that stuff. While coming back, there was silence. We came back to Bangalore, we went back home, and next day when we met, there's something else going on inside. And this time we were like, this is not a project for us. This is something else that we have to look into it. And the client gave us all the freedom to do it. We won 12 international awards for that.
Wow.
And that's where we went beyond. It was not a very profitable project for us, but still we gave our heart out. Like, let's do it. I think this will change the game for us. And trust me, Bharat, it changed the game for us. After that, the project and the deal size went in crores.
Wow.
Because of that one impactful thing that we did, the deal size, people started believing us, startups started writing big check. Until then it was in lakhs, sometimes in thousands, and now suddenly we're seeing crores.
Wow. That's a eureka moment.
Yeah, you need that. Every service company, listen to this carefully. You need that one project where you give your heart out. The second project was Upstocks, which came as just one-liner, and we turned that into one of the leading fintech company. Sometimes you need to tag along with the founders and build that. And you just forget about what the outcome is. Whether it helps your business or not, just do it.
As a founder, I'm so deeply connected now with this conversation because, the value systems, what we create with companies, we come with some thoughts, we come with some actions, and sometimes, we get drowned off because of day-to-day operations challenges. Revisiting these things will give us a greater picture into we should not forget our fundamentals. I think that's a brilliant take. I would definitely second what you're trying to tell.
Let me ask you this. Why did you start this, right? I'm sure there was no business or financial intention.
Correct.
Okay.
Pure passion.
The pure passion. You did something and you believe that if I do this better, I can open up opportunities for
Absolutely.
many people.
Absolutely. Make a difference.
And make a difference. And we all got into this.
Absolutely.
We never knew what is the money inside.
True.
And I didn't even know whether we're going to pay salary next month or not.
Absolutely.
We all risked our life and
forget
got
that we
into
don't know whether we take salary back home.
this. We still don't take. So we all got into it. And who are we, right? We are not people who come from a business background.
Correct.
Okay, we are a simple people, went to a school, went to college, worked somewhere, and one day we woke up and said, I will start my own, and I want to build that and make it big, and that's it.
That's true, Anil. I think.
And in that process, you get projects like farm raise, upstocks, and all that. And while your mind says there is no money in it, but your heart says do it.
You have spoken a lot about mental health for designers. Okay, so how do you balance to create business pressures, running a design studio, daily operations, challenges, what comes in, and there are so many of them who cannot strike a balance between them. What is your piece of advice you would give to services sector?
So service companies, right? The challenges here are so different. Unlike the product company, building a product has a different challenges altogether. Now I'm building Happy Pet. I know the challenges in building a product, but a service company, it's a daily battle. Okay, you don't know how your days are going to be because you're building products for other companies now. They have high expectations on you and they believe that you're going to deliver some magical stuff for them. With this, it's very, very important for the leadership team or even the founders or people at the senior role to be mentally and physically fit. And that's the one thing that I keep talking about on my social media, especially on Instagram. I keep telling people, I'll keep showing off that today I went for a 10K run, I'm swimming, I'm doing all this stuff. I start my day with that. So when I say physically fit, it's not about muscles or body mass or anything like that. It's keep yourself flexible enough to deal with the stress that you go through today. Especially when you're sitting and working 8 hours a day, keep your back flexible enough to handle that 8 hours sitting in one place. And when you are physically fit, right, it allows you to be mentally fit. So always people say that first be mentally fit and then you can go to physical fit. But to be mentally fit, it is even more challenging than being physically fit. Because imagine if I ask somebody to meditate, they will struggle to meditate. It will take years of practice to meditate. But if I ask them to run, they'll run. It's easy to run than to meditate. So make sure that you get your physical activities going every day. And eventually when you fall in love with that, coming and practicing the mental fitness becomes more easier. Now these two things are very, very important for people in the service industry because we have escalations. We don't know when major escalations come, and when that comes, you have to be in the right state of mind to handle the client, to handle the internal team, and also make sure the project doesn't get impacted, and also make sure our building doesn't get impacted. Now imagine as one person you're dealing with all this stuff, you have to be at the best state of mind and also flexible enough to handle everything. So very, very important, and this is my special message to every service entrepreneurs out there. Please have some discipline in life. Working till 12, 1 o'clock is not going to help you. I've never ever worked till late. And even with the farm raise project or upstocks, I cut off and by 8:45, 9 o'clock, maximum 9:30, I go to sleep. That's my one good habit since the time I was 23, 24 years old. 9:30, 10 o'clock maximum, and 4:30 I wake up. Today I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And gives you enough time to deal with things. And I always put the most stressful things in the morning because fresh mind, everything is good. So all the heavy lifting happens in the morning, and during the day it's like I also chill along with my colleagues. Or else imagine if I take that and put all the stress in the afternoon, then people will get to see the worst side of me at office. Then I walk in and I'm like, why this, that, shout and all.
So it's a cascading impact.
And then it become a reflection, right? They see me and my seniors My next level people will go show off their anger to their juniors, and you end up building a wrong culture inside the company.
I'm sure total years, Lollipop journey was 15 years. Almost 15 years, right? 15 years, I'm definitely sure you would have seen ups and downs and challenging times. You would have been very persistent in doing it. I don't have any doubts onto that. But in this journey, there will be certain untold stories which are absolutely untouched to the world, and everybody will have some very core red hot stories right in their heart, especially entrepreneurs. And these stories are going to be game changing to many. Do you think you have something coming on the top of your mind? Some stories like that?
I don't know if I have to take the names. There are few stories, and I'll tell one story. Now that I'm out of Lollipop, I can
Yes, please. We'll be happy to hear.
When Microsoft wanted to build a design practice in India, they poached almost all the designers from Lollipop.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if poached is the right word. They hired. So I think they got an agency to do that, and they cleared the entire floor.
Wow. Which year was this?
Yeah, this was in 2016, 17.
Oh, that must be very challenging.
Oh, tell me who doesn't want to work for Microsoft?
And you would have built these designers all the way from the base, getting them the fundamentals, feeding them all design stories.
And the worst part is that agency who was hiring designers from Lollipop called me also, saying that your colleague referred your name. Would you like to look at this opportunity? And it's a global brand. Then I asked which brand is it? It said Microsoft. And that the 1-2 years I hated Microsoft. The name itself I used to. It's like I was happy when the first 2 designers left. I was so happy that the people from Lollipop are going to Microsoft. Then after 2, 3 went. Then 3 came into my cabin. I want to put down my papers. And then 4, then 5. Then it's like they're rolling out of. It's like I think for the agency it was an opportunity to hire and fill people inside the Microsoft. For Microsoft, they didn't even realize the damage they were doing. And if I was at the leadership position of Microsoft, I would definitely ask that agency that where are you getting these people from? And are you doing a damage to them? If yes, I would say stop it. So I work like that. And they continued that for almost 2 years.
So, for a services segment.
And I can't match their salary. And designers, they have their own reason. And they started looking what was wrong with Lollipop. They said, look at this office, look at the toilets, look at this. I'm like, yeah, obviously Microsoft is good, right? That's a $1 billion, $1 trillion company. And what are we? We are a design studio in HSR layout. What comparison is that? They're like, no, they have cafeteria. Yeah, we don't have, come on, we don't have fancy vending machines, ping pong tables and bean bags. We don't have that, but we'll get there. We will get there. But I didn't take that as a challenge and build a global design studio. But that was the downfall of, almost like a downfall of Lollipop. Because we had projects and every time we hired someone in 3 months, they're gone.
For a services company, people play a very crucial role because it's all the companies, many of them rather would prefer to be people first because, they are the assets and services company would like to emphasize. It should be a very hard thing.
Very difficult. And I wanted to meet the chairman of Microsoft and tell him that, look, all the big speeches, good things that you do, right? Please get down to the level of ours and understand what damage you're doing.
How did you come out of it?
Nothing. They continue doing it and they keep doing it. And not just for us. There's so many design studios, they keep doing it. And they stopped hiring from us. They went to another design studio. That design studio started crying. And that founder literally had tears. They're like, bro, these guys have poached everybody out. Then it became a habit in the industry. Then after that came Apple. Then after that came Accenture, Deloitte. Everybody, it became a practice for them. Go to a small design studio or a small service company, pull everybody out. And it became like a habit to them. And I never spoke about it. And this is the first time when I'm speaking, I thought I should not, because maybe we will lose a future opportunity from them. But leave the opportunity aside. I think this message
You need to survive to come to that opportunity.
I think this message has to go out to them, saying that, look, if you want to hire someone, hire juniors, right? Because they need an opportunity, like how we do. We hire them, we train them, we groom them. What you do at Microsoft or Accenture, take a designer, put them in a corner, give them a small task, and give them everything to spoil them. You give them insurance, pick up, drop, and all that. But we don't give pick up, drop, insurance, and all that. We give them a bigger task so that they can learn fast.
So
if somebody has to grow from a talent perspective, small companies is the only place where they can grow.
Those are true service companies which give opportunities, yes.
And we give that opportunity, and you give others. You take such a talented people and put them in your factory and ask them to stamp the paper every day. And we lost the talent, and you wasted the talent. And it's become a practice in India. And nobody raises voice about it. And I actually wanted to write about it publicly, but I will do that sometime. And I'll tag all the big brands who do that. So that at least the smaller design studios or a company like yours don't get affected.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen this rapidly. So, yes.
And shamelessly they do that. And after that, all those leaders give big speech. We are a very ethical company. I'm like, what? Do you know the spelling of ethics? And you go hire, poach people, and they kill the industry standards, because when they hire people, they are hiring at almost like an 100x, 200x. And you don't do that. The industry falls, and after that, they hire people in 100 to 100. They fire people in 200s. There has never been an history at Lollipop that we have fired people. Not even one. I don't want to take the brand name, they fired 600 people. And I'll take another brand's name. Byju's came and hired few designers, poached few designers. And they were so proud of it. And where is Byju's? They fired everybody out. They should have left those designers, right? They could have built a great career at Lollipop. And they poached them, and finally here they are.
The challenge is the talent also doesn't understand the larger picture today.
I don't blame them. I think
we can't blame them, but yes, you're true. But they don't understand the larger picture and the larger consequences. That is also a challenge.
But I think the talent will realize when they start their own. We have to wait until then. All those people who left to Microsoft, I'm praying that they will start their own one day, and they will write to me saying that, Anil, I'm so sorry. I got little excited about that paycheck, and I left.
Yeah, people don't understand the value that where they are. It is all about materialistic things is what counts to them, because that's what they're tuned into, and that's where they're confined to. They can't see beyond that. They can't read between the lines.
I'm sure it's the same case with you. At Lollipop, just because we found another talent, we never let go of the talent that was in-house.
True.
We always groomed, kept them, and told them that upskill yourself.
Yeah, that's how
every time we find a super talent person, we tag along the one who's not talented so that they all can learn from each other. That's been the culture. I'm sure all the small companies like us, this is what we have built with.
Absolutely. You have emphasized resilience and continuous learning regularly. You've been a flag bearer to resilience and continuous learning. With technologies like AR, VR, and neuromorphism, which is emerging right in the market, which are the recent trends coming up, how should young designers prioritize and learn to build sustainable careers in the field of design and tech?
So let's not separate tech and design.
Okay.
Because the line is blurring now. Okay. Great products are built when engineers think like designers and designers think like engineers. Okay. And this is a nice, beautiful statement. And I came up with this statement.
All credits to you. Okay.
So when engineers think like designers and designers think like engineers, we build great product, like world-class product. I think engineers have almost come close to the designers. Designers yet to come to the tech. So tech, they think it's too boring and all that, and none of the designers know anything about tech. But techies are showing some interest in design. And when this happens, that sustainable career that you just mentioned, right? They don't have to worry about it at all. Throughout, the opportunities will open up. Just imagine, wouldn't you hire a coder who also can design.
Correct. Of course, absolutely.
There is no second thought.
And that's a blessing, rather,
Yeah, there's
right?
no second thought.
Absolutely, yes.
And would you hire a designer who can code? Brilliant. It's
Absolutely.
like what a deadly
combo.
combination.
Absolutely. That's what deadly combination is.
And how difficult is it to learn? Very easy. I'm a coder. I'm a designer. Throughout my life, that's one of the reasons which helped me to start my own product. That's Happy Pet. It's a design and code perfect it is. And what will you lose from learning this, right? And a lot of engineers don't think about it, and a lot of designers don't think about it. They think, I am what my company asked me to become. And that is the biggest mistake they make. I am not what my company wants to become. I am what I want to become. And if my company asked me to become, thank God you're in companies like yours and mine, because we explore them. Imagine you go work in blah blah blah, big IT service company.
Yeah.
They don't want you to become anything but
Absolutely.
just that. When you're gone, your career is gone. Actually, my friends have lost job. 23 years experience doing the same thing. Today, even I can't hire them as interns.
True.
And I don't want to hire them. They know nothing. Because they worked in a large company doing that one thing. Why will I hire them?
You're meeting with Don Norman, the author of The Design of Everyday Things. It was a significant moment, I'm sure. And some untold story or an encounter or any of the earlier career challenges that shaped your approach to design and leadership, or how was that with your stint with Don Norman? I'm sure you admire him. And I just wanted to emphasize, because people look up to him, and there are a lot set of audiences who look up to you. Okay, so I just want everybody to know what it takes you to look up to him, and so in line they can grab the way they look up to you as well.
So when we covered Dr. Devi Shetty, right? I said you all need a mentor, and here is why I repeat: you need a mentor. Dr. Devi Shetty introduced me to Don Norman.
Wow, that's so nice.
And it was on my birthday, and Dr. Devi Shetty called me and he said, "Where are you, Anil?" I said, "Sir, I'm in the studio. Come to Narayana Health immediately. I have a surprise for you." And then I thought they'll cut cake or do something. Then I went, and they opens the door. Don Norman comes walking, and I'm like, am I hallucinating this film? This time comes walking, and Dr. Devi Shetty, and Dr. Devi Shetty introduced that he is the one who designed the hospital application and all that. And Don appreciated. He said, "Good, great job. So what do you do?" And all that. Then I was stammering, and I said, "I run a design studio called Lollipop, and I would love to invite you there." And he said it's a short trip, but I'll definitely meet you again either at my place or here. Then I kept that in mind, and when I went to US, I sent an email. He said, "Come over to my place." I spent the entire day with him.
Wow.
Fantastic. And it was a nice thing, and he was so kind enough to give a video of Lollipop. He said Lollipop is one of the best design studio. I was like, what a great content this is.
That could have gone miles to
No,
you.
yeah, it's still going viral.
Still going miles.
Gave that content, and it was great meeting him.
So, looking back, what's a moment of your journey, or perhaps a risk you took, or a design you're most proud of that defines your legacy? And how does that influence your message for today's tech leaders?
I think I balanced working in a company and starting my own. Okay, right after college I didn't start, and I'm not sure if people will be very successful doing it. I've seen people who have done that and being very successful. I don't know whether it will work for everyone. At least get some industry experience, and after that try once. Everybody should try once, starting their own, and that's what I did. And the first year I failed, but I didn't give up. And even when we were very successful, we failed. And again, I could have just backed off, found a good job, because I was getting really crazy offers where I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to wake up, go chase clients, hire people, just have to chill and just manage a team in India. But still I went back and I did that Lollipop for a story. These things, right, is always there in anything that you do. Like for example, I started Happy Pet. It's been a year. We have not generated a single revenue yet. We are now closing customers, they're onboarding customers, but it took us 1 year of building product and holding on to it, because in service, as soon as you start earning money. At least some advance money comes in, but in the happy pet, you're just taking a bet. And this time the bet is even bigger that I'm taking. So I'm building a brand, I'm building a product that globally will be recognized. I'm building a company where this is the first India's pet technology company. So there's a lot of risk. I'm not from the pet world. I don't know anything about pet industry. I only know to build product. So the failure is higher than the success here. I could have gone into something else after Lollipop where I know that this is much easier to be successful, but I picked Happy Pet. And everybody in my family were against it. Like, why are you getting into an industry that you don't know anything about? Then I said, that's the fun.
I think I want to come more emphasis in the segment, but before that, I have more questions towards Lollipop. If not Lollipop, what would Anil Reddy be doing?
Art.
Art.
Artist. My introduction is I'm an artist by heart, designer by soul, and an entrepreneur by choice. I always want to go back to art, and that's one of the reasons why I built an art studio in my house. And all the Instagram updates you see, right? It's all very connected to the art. There is some form of an art practice every day. I want to paint, I want to do murals, I want to build things where the day I'm no more on this earth, people see my things.
So, how did, for an artist like you, the business acumen grow? Saying that this is how I run my operations, this is where I need to get acquired for, this is how I start the end in the mind, or this is how I exit. Or how did that happen?
So, while in college, right, I used to do some small gigs and stuff. And if you look at what was that, right, it was all about bringing people together. I used to bring carpenters, POP artists, sculptors, all together to put a movie set. It's not one person going and doing it. So even when I worked for the movie, there was a choreographer, light boys. Everybody has to come together. The script has to come together to do the background. And the hero has to move, heroine has to move, the camera angle has to move, right? So you collaborate and work to make sure that it all comes together. I love that process. Then I thought, when I started Lollipop, I said, this is exactly what I should do. I should bring project managers, designers, UX, researchers to do a beautiful output. And that turned into business. Then every output that I gave me revenues. And better output, better revenues. And that's what I call it business. I gave something and they paid me good. And next time somebody said, I'll pay you even better, can you do this? And there was no strategy, Excel sheets, presentations on how much I should earn. We just went with the flow. Like, for example, when we earned our first 50,000 per month, I realized that I need 2 more people. So my salary back then I used to pay was like 10,000, 7,000 rupees. I felt that this is too much of a salary to pay because I didn't take anything for 2 years. And then with 50,000 I had to pay rental, bills, travel and cost and all this stuff. And then somebody who was paying me 15, 20,000 for a project, he said, I'll pay you 50,000 now. I love the work that you're doing, I'll pay you 50,000. And also my friend also needs it. Can you increase your team? I said, okay, I'll do it. So this is how I learned business. Then after that, I realized that I cannot do this math. I have to bring someone. And then that's when my wife joined, and she's good with numbers and stuff. And she said, I'll handle the numbers, you do the thing.
Oh, so your wife is also in the
Yeah,
business?
she's the co-founder of Lollipop.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So there are 2 co-founders for Lollipop.
Yeah.
And what is your story all about, your acquisition?
So I'm a person that I don't want to do same thing for a long time.
Okay.
I don't want my business to look like a lifestyle business. I don't want my kids to do it. Whatever I do, it should end with me. I want my kids to be independent. Like my older son wants to become a chef. I want him to become a chef. The younger one wants to become an artist. I want to become an artist. I don't want them to have a burden of they growing up and learning Lollipop. And I want everybody to be independent. And this is one life that I'm going to live. I want to do so many things. I want to direct a movie. build a product, run a successful service company which already done, ticked off.
Your bucket list, one thing is
Bucket
ticked.
list. I want to ride motorbike in Africa, tick. In Costa Rica, tick. So that's how I am. I don't build business for lifestyle. I build it for fun. I build it for story. And the acquisition is not like very well planned. We were at the
Was it a good exit?
Yeah, it was a good exit. Very good exit.
Very good exit.
Very good exit. No regrets. See, now what is exit, right? It's industry will say you should have sold it to so much money. Somebody will say that you undersold it. I don't care about all this stuff. For me,
It is like
I want to
whether
go
my soul is satisfied or not.
yeah, it's like I want to go to the next story. Does that allow me to go to the next story is the first thing. If it allows, yes, it's a good exit.
And can you tell more about your exit, like who acquired?
So, a very similar.
And how it happened as well. Sorry.
Yeah, very similar person and say very similar story as mine. Renil and Rama, founder of Terralogic. Very similar story. I think next interview should be theirs.
Yes,
And
definitely.
you should invite them.
Absolutely.
Wonderful people. And I was introduced to them from another friend of mine. And they ran a very successful IT service company. And it was a beautiful collaboration. It's like they are 1,000+ team and we were 200+ team. So
The marriage.
it's like a design and tech coming together.
Yeah.
And I saw Lollipop grow with this collaboration. So that US opportunity happened only because we got acquired. Or else I don't think so. Me alone could have taken it that far.
The both San Jose and the Dallas. Okay.
So yeah, all good. I think one of the best thing that ever happened with Lollipop was getting acquired by Terralogic, because at the same time we had ENY, KPMG, WPP offering that, actually offering a better deal. But I knew for the fact that they will kill the brand. When they acquire it, they will erase Lollipop. And I was very, very clear that I'll sell it to a company who will keep the brand. And Terralogic kept the brand. And that's my acquisition story. And I'm so proud of it. Lollipop is still there and people still speak about it. And I still carry it on my shoulder.
This is where this comes as a next question to you, which made me think a lot. I saw one of your Instagram posts. I'm an avid follower of you. I'm sure you know that. I saw a day where you actually cutting your cake in Lollipop on your final day. Okay, and there are many who does that and say bye to a brand, but your brand, your baby, and you came that day, you were just cutting your cake on your final day and Lollipop and saying bye. I saw you saying bye to your staff. Was that the hard moment for you, Anil?
Yeah, it was the.
I think you can resonate to what I told earlier.
Yeah. It's my baby. I imagine if you had a daughter, and no matter where she gets married and goes, still your daughter. But you know for the fact one day she's going to get married and leave. So Lollipop is everything, and it was in my blood. I can't tell what Lollipop is for me. It's a beautiful story. That day was very emotional. I cried and I couldn't control my tears. That is not there in the video. I told everyone not to put that, just cut that and don't put it anywhere. Yeah, it's your baby end of the day. And it was not easy to say goodbye to people. And I knew I had to face that day. And cutting cake and all that was fun. The speech was very difficult. Normally I give a good speech, but I didn't know what I was talking. And the sad part is I'm not going to come back. I could go every day, but I'm leaving that premise, and this is the end of Lollipop. That feeling was very difficult. So it took me a month to accept it. And thanks to my friends, family, and all that, they used to cheer me every day. And thanks to Happy Pet that I'm building, and thanks to the industry that I've entered, so I could recover faster. It's emotional. Every service entrepreneurs will go through that. People think when you get acquired, it's transactional. It is not.
It's highly emotional.
There is a Khalil Gibran's poem about the river. It's a beautiful poem, and that resonates with my journey. I don't know the exact words, but this is what it means. It explains what fear the river is going through, because it flows through the mountains and forest everywhere, and now the river is fearing where is it heading towards, and it doesn't know where it is heading towards. There is a fear every single day, and finally it meets the ocean. And now when it meets the ocean, now the river feels it is the ocean. It has become an ocean now. So I don't know if I've explained it correct, but he's narrated it so beautifully. That poem really made me feel good, because Lollipop has went through it. It flew, and finally it meets the ocean. And now the opportunities are opening up bigger for Lollipop. It basically gave wings to fly. And imagine if I would have kept it, and I want to run it all through my life and pass it on to my kids. This becomes like a
family-run business.
Family-run business, like how politicians and other big brands do, right? Then there's no fun in it.
I'm sure that was one of the hardest moments, because I in fact told you earlier that for a guy like me, it at least made me think for 2 nights.
Yeah, very difficult.
And
I was flooded with questions. Like, why did you sell Lollipop? Why are you exiting? You are the Lollipop guy. I'll answer later. Here is the answer.
Yeah, I mean, for a founder like me, I would see that in a different angle and lens. That's why this question to you, right? So that's something which I wanted to bring it up. But for a common man, that's just a cake cutting ceremony, or it is like probably it's an happy moment, because they would see in the eyes of transactions. So yeah, if you resonate to what I've been thinking, definitely yes. What I would want to ask you. Anil, now we had in the conversation we mentioned a couple of times Happy Pet. This is the time I just want to ask you, what is Happy Pet? Why Happy Pet? And I know that you already mentioned that you don't know that industry, you don't know much about pets or whatever, but what made you get into it? And the two, it's a product and you are focusing on pet. Okay, so all interests lie there.
So growing up as a kid, I had 4 indie dogs at home, random, all stray. While going to school, I found a pup in the gutter. I picked that up, came home, washed it, and I promised my mom that I'll wash it and I'll put it back on the road. Then I kept it at home, and then I found another pup, and then another dog. And I love dogs, and for me dogs are not just animal guarding us, it's more than that. As a kid, and after that all the 4 passed away one by one, and I always wanted, then life happened, then chasing the career, going to college, then there came a different part of my life where I had to go prove myself. And then I told myself that one day a time will come when I'll have dogs at home. And in 2023, one of my close family friend, he invited me to his farm. He has about 4 acres of land, and he has 32 dogs. He opened the gate and all 32 dogs came running towards me.
Wow. Okay.
It was like a paradise for me. And normally people will run away looking at those dogs running towards you. And I was running towards the dog. And I sat down, they all jumped, licked, and they were all over me. And got very emotional, and that's when my friend convinced that he was going to start a pet store, and will I be interested in investing in the store. While playing with the dog, I told him, look, you're asking the wrong question at the wrong time. So we will talk about it later. And then after a couple of months, I told him that I'll invest purely for the love for pets. And he opened a store called Pet Warehouse. Then I said, I'll invest. I'll also advise you with whatever I know about the industry. So I know about the tech, I know about the design, I know nothing about the pet industry. So he knew a little bit of a pet industry. Then he started a store. Then I used to live in Dubai. Then I came down, I saw the store. I said, I think the store needs a little bit of a good feel. I come from the branding background, so I redesigned the logo. Then I quickly built a website and created an e-commerce portal. And then we designed the store. We made it look like a warehouse. And I wrote a message like, what is Pet Warehouse? Pet Warehouse should be positioned as a Decathlon and a D-Mart of the pet in India. That's how we positioned it, and we got covered by media. And today we are 6 stores in Bangalore, a brand that people love and people recognize when it comes to pets. While doing that, I realized that this is not what I want to do. Pet Warehouse opening shops is not my cup of tea.
Okay.
It's more of operations, it's more of process, acquiring products, reselling it. That's not fun.
Very systematic.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. For fun, it's fine, but as next thing, this doesn't excite me. While doing that, I realized that India doesn't have a single portal that brings the entire pet industry together in one place. Then I was just discussing with a colleague of mine in Dubai while having lunch, and she said, this is a brilliant idea. I think you should build this. Because from a design, you know everything. From tech also, you know everything. Just build it. My next thing is, do I know pet industry? I don't know pet industry. And the beauty of it is, I don't know pet industry. The founder of Paytm is not from a fintech background, nor the founder of Oyo is from a hospitality background.
Absolutely.
So both of them didn't know the do's and don'ts. So they built whatever they can build. So I thought I'll also do the similar stuff, and I started building Happy Pet. I called it Happy Pet. And the vision for Happy Pet is to bring the entire pet industry together in one place for a better pet care. So we started with breed information, and that was my first gig. I thought if I can pull this out, then rest will be easier. So there are 230 breeds in India, dog breeds in India, and we pulled all that information out, and each and every information is very customized and catered to the Indian audience. Like, how much does it cost to raise this breed in an apartment or in an independent house? And if I have to feed them fancy food, how much does it cost? If it's a regular food. So I collected those information, and I put that on the portal, and people started loving it. And people, especially who wanted to get pets, they started using our portal and writing to us about, this is the only website that I found where you have great information. It's made it so easy for us to decide on what pet should we bring home. Then I started building what kind of a dog breed you should bring. And I started introducing shelters where they can adopt. I started introducing the breeders, everything. I'm not specific to one side. It's an industry for me. I bought everyone inside, from pet influencers, from pet stores, about all this stuff. Then I realized that how about building a tech platform that acts like a tool which will help every pet service provider. And that's when we started building the SaaS platform. Now, one simple idea turned into a portal. One portal opened up opportunity to build a SaaS platform. Now, this SaaS platform has become a super hit. Brilliant. This is generating revenue for us. And I recently launched it in Dubai, and all the stores in Dubai loved it. And I just went there for a holiday to close my account and spend some time there. We onboarded 8 customers. Brilliant. And now onboarding 80 customers should not be a challenge. And we're still in the building phase. It's only been a year. Yep. In 1 year, we built 3 mobile applications, 4 SaaS platform, and a portal. That's a great achievement. And the best part about Happy Pet is I'm very happy doing it. That's more from my childhood. I wanted to have dogs. I've got 2 puppies at home.
Okay.
And every time I come to the office, it's all about the dogs, cats, birds, fishes.
Amazing. I just want to ask you one question that One last question. At Pacewisdom, which aims to be one of the leading IT firms, we've been also in the journey for a quite long, 15 plus years now. What do you think that you would like to suggest us as the future of, how do we participate in the future of Indian IT industry? Because the future is in the IT is also going to go to the next level with AI, with all the advances. What do you suggest us? How should we integrate design innovation? How do we play around in this weather?
A company like you, right? No matter what comes, you'll survive. Okay, I'm not just saying for the sake of it, because you are at a size where you don't have to worry anything big, and you don't have to worry anything small. Very similar to Lollipop. Okay, we are not a small boutique studio sitting in worrying about what next. Are we going to grow? Are we going to stay there? Or you're not a large company where we're getting affected by the market. This market, this financial crisis has never affected us. In fact, it has opened up opportunities for us. At COVID, we doubled the revenue. One piece of advice I would give is build a brand. A lot of IT services companies don't do that. They fail to do that. They are so involved in building products for others, and they have no time to build a brand for themselves. Ask yourself, does the Rajaji Nagar knows Pacewisdom? If your answer is no, then start building it. Does the southern part of Bangalore knows Pacewisdom? If the answer is no, build it. Absolutely. And the next is, does Karnataka know? Then after that, if India knows. And then you see the magic, the inquiries flow, everything will flow in.
Sure.
And that's it, your game changes.
Absolutely.
And if this area doesn't know, then you have not told the story to people. Come to HSR and ask Lollipop.
Yeah.
They'll drop you in front of the office and go. Including the auto drivers. They'll drop you in front of the office and go. So this is my advice, and you guys are doing fantastic. Your output, you're thinking way ahead of the game. No AI or automation is going to affect you, because you are catching up to the wave. You're riding on that wave. If it is AI, I'm sure you're already working on it.
Yes, we are.
Then how is that going to affect you? If AI is not something that people are going to buy like a vending machine and keep it in their companies. Like product companies are not going to go buy AI like any coffee vending machine and start doing it. They need humans to do that.
Absolutely.
And they need company like yours to do that. If they're firing people, then great, good news, right? They're going to hire companies like you to do that. Absolutely. And you're not a big size company where we few thousand, 15,000 employees. You're not a small size company where you can't take projects. You're sized perfectly. I think all you have to do is build a brand.
True.
Build a brand, spend more time on that. What if this podcast is one of it, but this podcast is just a 5% of it.
True.
There's still 95% left. Focus on that and you'll see the magic.
Absolutely, Anil. Thanks for this. Moving on to the next segment, we have our rapid fire round. So with Anil Reddy. So Anil, are you ready for the rapid fire?
Anil Reddy is ready.
Anil Reddy is ready. Okay. Pixels or paper?
Paper.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
One word that defines good design.
Beautiful solution.
Sketch or Figma?
Sketch as a tool or sketch as paper?
Sketch as a paper.
Paper.
Okay. Early morning brainstorming person or a late night ideation?
Early morning.
Okay. The most underrated Indian brand when it comes to design?
Indian grown brand. Oh. Too many brands coming in my head. I want to pick one. I've started using Snitch.
Okay.
And I think a beautifully crafted fashion.
Okay.
And I love everything that they have done, from the brand identity to the shops, interiors, everything.
Your design idol growing up?
There are so many people, but I'm a big fan of Leonardo da Vinci because of his sketches, his book, And if there is anything that I want to steal in my life, there's a Leonardo da Vinci's book in Bill Gates' house. I want to steal that.
Amazing. Your favorite design tool right now?
My sketchbook.
Sketchbook. Your book every designer must read.
I'm not too much into books, but I would suggest read psychology books and non-design related books. One of my favorite book is The Power of Subconscious Mind.
Cricket or football?
Cricket.
Favorite team in cricket IPL?
RCB. RCB.
With you. Okay. One app you wish that you had designed. Any app that you wish you had designed it?
Better Me.
Better Me. Oh, interesting. Okay. A productivity hack, if you have to suggest?
Good sleep.
Good sleep. One final message to all the youngsters, young designers, youngsters, young tech folks, all the young lads.
If you are a designer, celebrate design. If you are a non-designer, celebrate life.
Brilliant. Thanks, Anil. This comes to the end of the podcast. It was so brilliant that I had a great time talking to you. Cherished so many memories. Though I've been following you and I've been, talking to you, not at regular intervals though, but got to learn a lot. So thanks a lot. It was great time. Well spent.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all those people who came early morning, set up this beautiful setup for the podcast, and what a beautiful office. And
thank you.
It has good vibes.
Thank you.
And all the best to you.
Thank you.
I'm sure, please continue doing this podcast. For me, my highest learning has come from these things. And during my morning jog, I always listen to people talking.
Great. Brilliant.
So this is like a very transparent, instead of reading books, this is better.
Absolutely. We'll take it up.
Interview more people so that I can learn from you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks
for gracing the event. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.